we are discussing about VHDL programming. So in that we are going to discuss about different basic things about VHDL programming, and then we are going to write VHDL program for certain digital systems. So till now we have discussed about how to declare libraries in VHDL programming, and after that we have discussed in the last session about how to write entity in a VHDL programming. Okay. So as we know that there are three main parts in a VHDL program. One is the library declaration, after that entity declaration, and then architecture declaration. So now we are going to discuss about architecture declaration. So how to declare architecture of any system that we are going to know in VHDL programming. Now what is meant by architecture? It is an specification of the design's internal implementation. So that means till now when we write entity, we know about what is their input as well as which are the output for the system. But how these inputs are going to function so that we are going to get output, that we have not yet discussed, and that is discussed in architecture. So an architecture, it is a specification of design's internal implementation. It contains a description of how the circuit should function from which the actual circuit is inferred. That means here this architecture will describe what will be the functioning of the design, okay, and how actual circuit will look like, or what will be the components in the implementation. Now whatever architecture that we are going to write, that is bounded with an entity. That means whatever is our entity that we have already written, the architecture will be bounded to that entity, so that whatever inputs that we have declared and the outputs that we have declared, depending on that our architecture will be written. Okay. So VHDL allows entity to have multiple architectures. That means for a single entity we can have number of architectures. Okay. So we can have depending on the what is the mode. In that we can have different architectures for a single entity. That is, multiple architectures can be created for a particular entity. Now for a particular entity, with each architecture optimized with respect to its design goal. That means how it is going to perform. So depending on performance, then how much area it is going to take. So depending on the area also we can optimize architecture. Then power consumption. What is the power consumptions of each of the component in that architecture or in that system? Depending on that also we can have different architecture. And then how it is easy for simulation. So on that also we can have different architecture. So depending on these goals we can optimize our architecture. Okay. So here this is the syntax of architecture declaration. Okay. Now here you can see that architecture has two parts. The first part, that is the between keywords, that is architecture and begin. So here you can see that this is the first part which lies in between these two keywords, that is architecture and begin. Okay. And that is architecture declarative part. Okay. In this section you can define the interconnection signals, then other components which are referenced by this architecture or constants. Okay. Now here whenever you are writing architecture, the first you have to write architecture is a keyword, then you have to give a name for the architecture that you are going to write, and then it will be with respect to the entity which you have already written. So here there will be name of the entity which you have already written, and then it will be followed by keyword, that is and then there will be a first part of this architecture, which is architecture declarative part. So here you can define interconnection signals, then other components or constants in this part. Then after that, begin statement, where here this is the begin keyword, second part that starts. Okay, and that includes the statements and it has assignments and structure of the design. So here in this part, actual statements will be present. Okay, so this is a architecture statement part. As in the case of entity, the name of architecture can be basically any word. Okay, that means the word which will start from letter, then it can have any name, okay, any word it can have. Also it can have digits also and underscore. So depending on that, you can have any name for the architecture. Okay, so this is about the syntax of architecture declaration. Now let us have one simple example of architecture declaration. So here already we have written entity for AND gate. So with respect to that, we are going to write now architecture for that AND gate. Okay, so now here first, while writing this architecture declaration, you have to write architecture, that is a keyword, and then give a name for that architecture. So here I have given the name, that is a synthesis 1, okay, of AND gate. This is the entity name, that is AND gate is begin. Now the actual statement will come here. Okay, now here you can see that the declarative part is not present in this architecture. This is a very simple and basic example of architecture declaration. Here directly we have written the VHDL statement. So now here we have a statement that there is a function, that is A and B. Okay, so and it is a keyword which is present in a library IEEE, where in a standard logic with this function that present. Okay, so A and B, and the result of this A and B is assigned to C. Okay, that means C is assigned to the value, that is A and B. Okay, and then end of this architecture, synthesis 1, semicolon. Okay, so here this semicolon that states that it is the end of that statement. Okay, so here again remember that the AND is the keyword which is used for the AND gate. Okay, so this is a very basic example of AND gate architecture. Now in a architecture declaration, as I earlier said that we can have multiple declaration for a single. So as I said that there are multiple architecture declarations for a single entity depending on what is the style of modeling of that architecture. Okay, so there are basically three types of modeling. One is the behavioral modeling, then data flow modeling, and structural modeling. Okay, in the earlier session we have discussed about there are certain levels of abstraction, and that are behavioral and structural. Okay, and in behavioral again there are two types, that is a data flow and algorithmic. Okay, so on basis of that we can model architecture in three different ways. Okay, so let us see one by one how we can have architecture declaration for these three types of modeling. Okay, so first of all we are going to see how we can model architecture of full adder in a behavioral style. After that we are going for data flow, and then we are going for the structural modeling. Okay. Now all of you know what is mean by full adder. What is full adder? It is a combinational device, okay, and it adds 2 bits plus carry, isn't it? So that means overall it adds 3 bits. One is input bits, that is A and B, and the third bit, that is a carry. So is it possible for you to write a truth table for full adder? Okay. Before that, first of all tell me, how many outputs are there for full adder? Yes, sum and carry, these are the 2 outputs for full adder. So again I am repeating my question, is it possible for you to write a truth table for full adder? Okay, so write down first of all in your notebook truth table for full adder. Okay, so that it will be easier to understand how we are going to write architecture in a behavioral style. So you can take few seconds or few minutes for writing truth table. Then for the behavioral style modeling, again we are writing this. So when A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0 and Cin is equal to 1, or A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 1 and Cin is equal to 0, or A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0 and Cin is equal to 0, then sum is equal to 1. So here in this truth table you can find this. Okay. So whenever you are getting sum for these many statements, we are assigning that sum is equal to 1 and Cout is equal to 0. Okay. Now another we can have that else if we are going to get A is equal to, if A is equal to 0, B is equal to 1 and Cin is equal to 1, or A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0 and Cin is equal to 1, or A equal to 1 and B equal to 1 and Cin equal to 0, then sum is assigned to 0 and Cout is assigned to 1. That means if all the inputs are 0, we are going to get sum equal to 0, carry also equal to 0. If any one of the input is equal to 1, then we are going to get sum equal to 1, Cout is equal to 0. Any two inputs are 1, then sum will be 0 and carry will be 1. And then if all these 3 inputs are 1, that means A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 1 and Cin is equal to 1, then sum is assigned to 1 and Cout is assigned to 1 also. Okay. Then there will be end of if statement. After that there will be end of the process, and then there will be end of architecture. End of this architecture behavior. Okay. So here we have directly specified how the circuit is going to behave. So, but we don't know how it could be implemented. So that is that cannot be specified in a behavioral style modeling. Okay, all of you got this? So this is the behavioral style modeling, and we have written architecture for full adder. Okay. Now the another type of architecture declaration, that is a data flow style of modeling. Okay. So in this data flow style, it specifies a system as a concurrent representation of the design. That means here, as we already discussed, what is meant by concurrent? That we can exchange the position of that process, okay, but still we will get the correct result, okay. So this is the concurrent representation of the data flow of the control and movement of data, okay. This models the information flow or the data flow behavior, okay. So here how your data is going to behave, that is decided in this type of architecture declaration, okay. Now again, what will be that over time of combinational logic functions such as adders, comparators, decoders, that is also specified here. And then here let us consider the example of full adder again. So already we have the entity, that is a for full adder, and with that we are going to now declare the architecture, okay. Now for the full adder, if you write the Boolean expression, then you will get it as a sum is equal to A XORed with B XORed with Cn, okay. And then carry out, that is equal to A and B plus sum ANDed with carry in, okay. So I think all of you must have derived this expression while studying in digital techniques, isn't it? All of you know about this. In this type of architecture declaration, we are just directly writing the statements in such a way that it will be defining how our data flows, okay, with respect to time, okay. So here when we are writing the architecture, so let us have the name for this architecture as a data flow, okay, so that it will be easier to understand that here data flow type of modeling is there. Now as we are considering the entity, that is a full adder, which we have already seen, okay. Now here we are declaring the signal, that is bit, okay, S, that is of a bit type, okay. So that we are, this is a constant signal that we are declaring, because that we are going to use for the calculation of cout also, okay. So as it is used for both the processes, so we are using it for the inner declarative part, and then we will start the architecture declaration, that is the statement part. So in that we are writing after begin keyword, that is S is assigned to, that is the sum is assigned to A XOR B, okay. This is the one signal that we are considering. That means in this here we have first calculated the value for the A XORed with B, and that value, that the result is assigned to a signal, that is S, okay. Sorry, make the correction here. Here it should be sum, okay. So sum is equal to A XORed with B XORed with Cn, okay. And for this A XOR B, we are taking a one signal, that is S, okay. So we are assigning the value of the result of A XORed with B to this signal S, okay. So just remember that here it should be sum, okay. I'll make that correction afterwards, okay. Then sum is equal assigned to S XORed with Cin, and this is after 10 nanoseconds. That means there will be certain delay to calculate this function, okay, this statement, because if it is calculated or if this delay is not considered, then it will take earlier value only, okay. So we are taking this delay to calculate S XOR Cin, okay. So that means first of all it will calculate this statement, that is a S value. After that S will be XORed with Cin, and then that result will be assigned to sum, okay. After that cout is calculated with the statement that A ANDed with B, and then it is ORed with the result of S and Cin, Okay, and this calculation is done after 5 nanoseconds. Okay, and overall result is assigned to Cout. So that is the end of data flow. Okay, so here you can see that in this, first of all, we have declared a certain signal which we are requiring or which we are calculating in between. Okay, and that signal is then used for the further data flow. Okay, so that means how that data is going to change depending on that signal that we are considering. Okay, so this is about the data flow style modeling of the for architecture declaration. Okay, we have completed two styles of modeling. One is the behavioral modeling and another one, that is a data flow modeling. Okay, now let us see third type of modeling, that is a structural modeling. Okay, now you can see here, if we represent full adder in the form of half adder, then it will look like this, isn't it? Okay, all of you know about this modeling? Yes? Okay, so now here what this structural modeling does, okay, so that defines the structural implementation using component declaration and component instantiation. Okay, that means whatever components that are present in this architecture, that will, or in that system, that depending on that structural modeling is done. Okay, so how that components that are going to instantiate, so depending on that this modeling is done. Okay, so here we can see the, first of all, structure of full adder using half adder and OR gate. Okay, so is it possible for you to draw this circuit? Okay, considering this half adder or Boolean expressions. Okay, already you must have done this in a okay. So let us start again. So here this is the structural style modeling that we are seeing on our screen. So what is done in structural modeling? Whatever is the structural implementation using components declaration and component instantiation, that is defined in this type of modeling. Okay, so now as you can see that whenever we have the full adder using half adder and OR gate, we require two half adders, okay, and then one OR gate. Okay, so as for the full adder we have two inputs, so three inputs. One is the A, B and then carry in. These are the three inputs. So this A and B that are will be the inputs to the first adder, and then first half adder, and then we will get the result in terms of sum and carry out. Okay, now sum of the first that first half adder, that will be the another input to the second half adder, and for the second half adder the second input will be the carry in. Okay, and then we will get the result in terms of sum, and then for that half adder we will get the carry. Okay, output carry. Now this output carry of the second half adder as well as first half adder, that will be all together and we will get the carry out. Okay, so is this clear to you? Okay, so this is about the structural modeling of the full adder using half adders and OR gate. Now we are going to write architecture for this model. Okay, so how to write this? So that we will see in the architecture declaration using structural style modeling. So this is the architecture. Now in the earlier diagram, here you can see that here I have given certain names. Okay, So these are the signals that I have defined. The one is the N1, which is nothing but the sum of the first half adder. Then N2, that is the signal, that is nothing but carry out of the first half adder. Then N3, that is the carry out of the second half adder. Okay. So N1, N2 and N3, these are the three signals that I have defined here. Okay. So that we are going to use after in the architecture. So this is the architecture. So the name of the architecture, that is say structure. Okay. Now again remember that you can give any name for the architecture. Okay. Only thing is that it can consist letters, then digits and underscore. Okay. The name of that architecture should start from letter, and then it is, as VHDL is not case sensitive, so you can write anyway name for the architecture. Okay. Then it is a architecture structure of entity, that is a full adder is. Okay. Now here we need to define components. Okay. So we are defining components, that is a half adder, the first component, that is half adder, and for that we require port P and Q, that is a input ports, and that is of a bit type. Then S and CO, that is the output ports, which are again of a bit type. Okay. So this is the end of component half adder. So what we have done, we have declared one component, which is a half adder, which has two input, which are of input ports P and Q of a bit type, and two outputs S and CO, that is of a out type, and that is of a bit type again, and there will be end of component, that component. Okay. Then another component that we are defining, that is a OR gate. Okay. Again we have to declare ports for this. So port L1 and L2, that will be input ports, which are again of a bit type, and as OR gate will have one output, so we are assigning it as a O, or giving name to that port as a O, which is of a out type and bit type. Okay. Again there will be end of this component. Okay. Then after that we are defining certain signals N1, N2 and N3, which all are of a bit type. Okay. So लक्षात येते आपण काय केलं इथे, आपण दोन कंपोनंट डिफाइन केले. एक कंपोनंट काय केला, हाफ ॲडर डिफाइन केला, त्याच्यानंतर दुसरा केला तो ऑर गेट घेतला, आणि त्याच्यानंतर आपण इन बिटवीनचे जे सिग्नल्स आहेत त्याच्यासाठी आपण N1, N2 आणि N3 हे सिग्नल्स डिफाइन करून घेतले. आता इथे प्रत्येक वेळेस आपण फक्त लॉजिक 0 आणि लॉजिक 1 मध्ये काम करणार आहे. दॅट इज वाय वी हॅव स्पेसिफाईड इट इन द टाइप डेटा टाइप ॲज अ बिट. ओके. So it will have only two logic labels, either 0 or it is a 1. Okay. And after that we will start actually writing the statements. That means here now declaration part is over, and then we are going to begin the architecture statements. Okay. So here we will first have the statement, that is a half adder 1. Okay. So for that we are going to take a component half adder, and then we are having a keyword, that is a port map. Okay. Now what this port map keyword does, it maps the ports in that half adder to the ports of the component half adder. Okay. That means now here this A will be mapped to P, B will be mapped to Q, N1 will be mapped to S, that is the sum of the first half adder, and then N2 will be mapped to CO. Okay. So that means now we have two inputs which are mapped with the inputs of the component, and then these two signals N1 and N2. Okay. Then we are defining a second half adder, where we are going to get a component that is a half adder, and now ports of this half adder will be mapped in the way that is a N1 to P, that means it is a one input, then C in, that is the another input, then sum, that is the output, and N3, that is the carry out of the second half adder, and that is we are taking it as a signal N3. Okay. Then we are writing a statement for the OR gate. Okay. So that OR structure. So we are going to get here OR gate. Then now we are having a port map, that is a keyword that we are using to map all these ports N2, N3, then carry out. Okay. So that means input for this OR gate will be N2 and N3, and then output will be carry out. Okay. And then this will be end of structure. Okay. So here this way we can define the structure or we can declare how there will be a structural type of modeling in the architecture declaration. Okay. So this is about the structural style modeling.